What's that I hear? Is that my honey? Are you home?
Hello, my little puzzle piece.
How are you, my love?
Good. I miss you so much
I
today.
missed you too.
How was your day?
Oh, my day was good. How was yours?
Very busy.
I guess so.
I brought
You
some
look
of my
like
tools home. Here's my
your bat.
KAPLAN America bat
Well, let me have it.
and my brass knuckles
And your brass knuckles.
and my Mossberg. I took the bullets out, honey.
Oh,
Already.
very
Okay,
good.
okay.
Safety first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my big knife
Okay, we'll use that later.
and my little knife.
Your little knife.
Mm-hmm. And my hammer of justice, of course.
Oh, well,
It was a really busy day today.
Yes,
Very
it
busy.
was.
Work. My scarf.
Yes, you want to stay nice and warm.
Will you take my cape, please?
Yes, I will help you.
Well, you know
with
what
everything.
tonight is, right?
What is tonight?
Tonight's chapter 2 of The Mouse and a Motorcycle.
Yes, it is.
Zaylen's been waiting, and two-stroke racers kids want to hear chapter 2 because they already did chapter 1. So, without further ado,
We must do chapter 2.
yes, it's good to be home.
Yes, it is.
Crazy
I love it
busy
when you
day
come
today.
home.
Hey guys! Oh, I didn't know you were watching. Oh, I got my nunchucks too. Here, baby.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Oh, Lord. Work. Oh,
Well, not everything's fitting there.
and my switchblade of truth, KAPLAN America edition.
The switchblade of truth.
Almost
Let me
forgot
take
that. Here you go, baby.
Thank you.
Hey kids, how are you? Well, you know, it's going to be a great weekend. We got the Supercross tomorrow night. Next weekend, February 22nd, we'll be doing the Munson Mass Hill Climb. But tonight, it's a mouse and a motorcycle. And I took Jordan to her 10th grade dance tonight. One of the reasons I took all my tools with me. So I took a little video of Jordan. Her mom asked me to pick her up. And when I went to pick her up, I was like, wow. Yeah, I'm at the KAPLAN residence. I'm picking up Jordan, and Shakira walked out. So, guys, I'm bringing my youngest daughter, Jordan, to her high school dance, and you can see why I had to take my red, white, and blue nunchucks, my hammer of justice, my baseball bat, and all my other tools of the trade. Got to keep her safe, right? Are you excited about your dance?
Yes.
Here's when I dropped her off at high school. Let me see. I got to pick her up right after chapter 2. There she goes. Keeping a close eye on her. Keeping an eye on you, girl. You know, enjoy her, kids, because they're going to grow up fast. Taylor's a 22-year-old supermodel. Kenny's 20 years old and a handful. And, you know, I kind of miss the days when they're 5 years old and 7 years old, and all it took was the mouse and the motorcycle and a little bit of entertainment and riding some mini bikes together. We'd have a lot of fun. So let me show you the toys we have to play with tonight. So let's get right into the book. We're in chapter 2. We were last week was chapter 1 when Ralph E. Mouse met the little boy who was on vacation with his parents. So this is one of my favorite chapters. Is chapter 2, the motorcycle. Okay, here we go, kids. Zaylen, I know you want to watch this, so this is for you, honey. Okay, the motorcycle. Except for one terrifying moment when the boy had poked his finger through the mouse hole, a hungry young mouse named Ralph eagerly watched everything that went on in room 215. At first, he was disappointed at the size of the boy who was to occupy the room. A little child, preferably 2 or even 3 years old, would have been better. Little messy children were always considerate about leaving crumbs on the carpet for mice. Oh well, at least these people did not have a dog. If there was one thing Ralph disliked, it was a Snoopy dog. So, next, Ralph felt hopeful. Medium-sized boys could almost always be counted on to leave a sticky candy bar wrapper on the floor or a bag of peanuts on the bedside table, where Ralph could reach them by climbing up the telephone cord. With a boy this size, the food, though not apt to be plentiful, was almost sure to be of good quality. The third emotion felt by Ralph was joy when the boy laid the apple core by the telephone. This was followed by despair when the mother dropped the core into the metal wastebasket. Ralph knew that anything at the bottom of a metal wastebasket was lost to a mouse forever. A mouse lives not by crumbs alone, and so Ralph experienced still another emotion. This time food was not the cause of it. Ralph was eager, excited, curious, and impatient all at once. The emotion was so strong it made him forget his empty stomach. It was caused by those little cars, especially that motorcycle, and the sound the little motorcycle made when he moved it around. It sounded like this. So that sound seemed to satisfy something within Ralph, as if he had been waiting all his life to hear it. So the boy rode the bike again. So to the mouse, the sound spoke of highways and speed, of distance and danger, and whiskers blown back by the wind. So the instant the family left the room to go to dinner, Ralph scurried out of the mouse hole and across the threadbare carpet to the telephone cord, which came out of a hole on the floor beside the bedside table. "Ralph," scolded his mother from the other mouse hole, "you stay away from that telephone cord." Ralph's mother was a great worrier. She worried because their hotel was old and run down, and because so many rooms were often empty with no careless guests to leave crumbs behind for mice, so there wasn't enough food. She worried about the rumor that their hotel was to be torn down when the new highway came through, so they would have nowhere to live. She worried about her children finding aspirin tablets. Ralph's father had tried to carry an aspirin tablet in his cheek pouch. The aspirin had dissolved with unexpected suddenness, and Ralph's father had been poisoned. So don't do drugs, kids. It kills a lot of people, all right? Since then, no member of the family would think of touching an aspirin tablet. Kind of like me. My dad drank himself to death, so I don't drink at all. And my cousin died of heroin and cocaine, so I don't do drugs either. So stay sober, kids. But this did not prevent Ralph's mother from worrying. Most of all, Ralph's mother worried about Ralph. She worried because he was a reckless mouse who stayed out late in the daytime when he should have been home safe in bed. I can relate to that. I was kind of a reckless kid like that too. Ralph was only 7 years old though, he's a little mouse, and that's in human years. So she worried when Ralph climbed the curtain to sit on the windowsill to watch the chipmunk and the pine tree outside and the cars in the parking lot below. She worried because Ralph wanted to go exploring down the hall instead of traveling under the floorboards like a sensible, safe mouse. Heaven only knew what dangers might be in the halls: maids, bellboys, perhaps even cats, like my cat. Where's my cat? Go get my cat. Can you get my cat, Christy? I'll show the kids my cat. I have a cat. I love my cat. But cats are the mortal enemies of mice. I have the coolest cat ever. Or something even worse. A big, furry, Maine coon cat like this one, because they eat lots of mice. She can eat a whole family of mice in one night. So
she is a mouse catcher.
Yeah, so little mouse moms are really scared of that. Or even worse, a vacuum cleaner. Ralph's mother had a horror of vacuum cleaners. Ralph, who was used to his mother's worries, got a good running start and was already halfway up the telephone cord. "Remember your Uncle Victor," his mother called after him. Ralph seemed not to hear. He climbed the cord up to the telephone, jumped down, and ran around to the row of cars. There it was on the end, the motorcycle. Ralph stared at it and then walked over and kicked a tire. Close up, the motorcycle looked even better than he expected, and there was another motorcycle next to it. This one was a 1993 Heritage Softail Cow Glide, aka the Nostalgia, limited production, Evolution motor, 5-speed transmission, Softail rear end with the wide white wall tires, cowhide on the seat, and this one was a limited production model. They only made 2,700 of them. So Ralph knew that was a really cool bike. So it was better than he expected. It was new and shiny and had a set of tires, and Ralph walked all the way around it, examining the pair of chromium mufflers and even the engine and the hand clutch. It even had a little license plate, so it would be legal to ride. So he wouldn't have to get a court date like I have for riding without a license plate. Coming up April 24th. Stay tuned. "Boy," said Ralph to himself, his whiskers quivering with excitement. Boy, oh boy, feeling that this was an important moment in his life. He took hold of the hand grips. They felt good and solid beneath his paws. Yes, this motorcycle was a good machine, all right. He could tell by the feel. Ralph threw a leg over the motorcycle and sat jauntily on the plastic seat. Here he is. Christy, show him how he did it. He even bounced up and down. The seat was curved just right to fit a mouse. But how to start a motorcycle, Ralph didn't know. Even if he did know how to start it, he could not do much riding up here on the bedside table. He considered pushing the motorcycle off onto the floor, but he did not want to risk damaging such a beautiful, valuable machine. Ralph bounced up and down on the seat.
I guess we have to use this one.
No, he said this one. He's bouncing on this one.
He's going to bounce on this one?
Yeah, he likes that one better.
Okay.
He bounced high, though.
Oh, he bounced real high, huh?
Yeah. So he bounced so high a couple more times and looked around for some way to start the motorcycle. He pulled at a lever or two, but nothing happened. Then a terrible thought spoiled his pleasure. What if this is only a toy? and it would not run at all. Here's an actual picture of Ralph on the motorcycle. Going, woohoo, let me send it. But he couldn't get it started. So Ralph, who had watched many children in room 215, had picked up a lot of information about toys. He had seen a boy from Cedar Rapids throw his model airplane on the floor because he could not make its plastic parts fit properly. He had a little temper tantrum. A little girl had burst into tears and run sobbing to her mother when her doll's arm had come out of its socket. And then there was that nice boy, the potato chip nibbler, who stamped his foot because the batteries kept falling out of his car. But this toy would not be like all those other toys he had seen. It looked too perfect with its wire spokes and its wheels and its pair of shiny chromium exhaust pipes. He might have been talking about this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking he was talking about
and this is him looking at it.
Yeah.
It would not be right if it did not run. It would not be fair. A motorcycle that looked as real as this one had to run. The secret of making it run must be perfectly simple. If only Ralph had someone to show him what it was. Ralph was not satisfied just sitting on the motorcycle. Ralph craved action. After all, what was a motorcycle for if it wasn't action? Who needed motorcycle riding lessons? Not Ralph. Nope. He tried pushing himself along with his feet. This was not nearly fast enough, but it was better than nothing. He moved his feet faster along the tabletop and then lifted them up while he coasted. Feeling braver, he bent low over the handlebars and worked his feet still faster toward the edge of the bedside table. When he worked up a little speed, he would coast around the corner. He scrabbled his feet on the tabletop to gain momentum. In a split second, he would steer to the left. At that moment, the bell on the telephone rang half a ring. Ring, ring! So close that it seemed to pierce the middle of Ralph's bones. It rang just at half ring, as if the girl at the switchboard realized she had rung the wrong room and jerked out the cord before the ring was finished. Then half a ring was not enough. It shattered Ralph's nerves and terrified him so that he forgot all about the steering. It jumbled his thoughts until he forgot to drag his heels for brakes. He was so terrified that he let go of the hand grips. The momentum of the motorcycle carried him forward, over the edge of the table, down through space. He fell off the table over here, all the way down to the floor. Woo! He tried to straighten out, but he fell through space on the motorcycle. To turn the fall into a leap, he tried to turn it into a leap, but the motorcycle got in his way. He grabbed in vain in the air with both paws. There was nothing to clutch, nothing to save him, only the empty air. For a fleeting instant, he thought of his poor old Uncle Victor. That was the instant the motorcycle landed with a crash in the metal wastebasket. Ralph fell in a heap beside the motorcycle and lay still. Oh no. See, I can relate to that. That's the end of the chapter. The next chapter is chapter 3, Trapped. I've been stuck under a motorcycle. Matter of fact, when I was little, I was not much older than Ralph. I was probably 10, 12 years old. My brother ran me over on a motorcycle in the sand pits when we were racing. And I've broken a lot of bones. I shattered this wrist right here on the motorcycle. You got to be careful, kids. I put this finger through a sprocket. I dislocated this shoulder and broke the humeral head. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I shattered this bone right here. So I broke a lot of bones. So you got to be safe, kids. Wear a helmet. We'll leave it at that. So we don't discourage you from riding. It's a great sport, but you got to be careful. Your front end will look like this. You don't want to look like that. You want to look like, like this. That's it. Chapter 2 is over. Oh, remember, have good books around the house for the kids, like Classic Bike or Motorcycle Mechanics or Harley Davidson Meet the Legend. Have lots of books for the kids to read. And take pictures of them when they're riding so they can remember when they get older. Here's one of me when I was 6 years old, or actually 7 years old, 1971, on my Yamaha GT80. And there's my older brother, Ray. He was 8. And there's me when I was like 10 riding the same bike. And then when I got bigger, I got a 250. I was like 18 in that one. So, in calendars too. So, you can get motorcycle calendars, share those with the family. Keep lots of good stuff around like that for the kids. So, kids, there's other books that you can ask your parents, and I suggest parents. This is my favorite. It's called The Patriot's Bible. And Jordan's calling me on the other line. I had to go pick her up at the high school, bring all my toys back, protect her. So, but in the Bible, we'll read one verse today. This is my favorite verse in the Bible. It's Romans 8:28. God works all things for good for those that are living according to his will. Amen. God bless America. Stay tuned until next time. Next week, we'll read chapter 3. God bless.